3 hours to go visit a friend of mine, and by the title, you know what it's about. Pulled the trigger on this Challenger, and I'm coming up this weekend to play with it. I hope he lets me put some of the stuff that's personal into the video, and you know, maybe it'll touch somebody in the process. So next time you see me, I'll be rolling up to his driveway, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm rolling up on his house. Here we go. So this is the most horsepower American production car you can get. It has 797 horsepower. And because it has the wide body, it has 305 tires on it. So these rims and tires are only specific for the wide body because of the flares on the fender. And some people may think that the fender is Jeepish, but these cars are going to be sought after because of that. Yes, they make a lot of them, but they don't make a lot of wide body 305 Hellcat RedEyes. So this car is the bar. Besides, it's got a 10 rib belt. It's got a 220 amp alternator. It's humongous, and one of the biggest air filters I've ever seen. Their air scoop is actually functional from the top and the bottom. Starts here, the air draws here, and then shifts through here and then hits the top of the filter, and then down the hole there. So it gets both sides. Here it has the white piping, and it has like the copper two-tone, and then in here they do the same thing. And I have to say that these are the most comfortable seats I've ever been in any car, luxury and everything. It has no plastic, still leather. Again, white piping to match the exterior all the way around, on the steering wheel, on the seats, on the door sills, everything. I mean, this is it. It doesn't get any better than this. I got the red key. One of the biggest trunks I've ever seen. That is a big trunk, my friend. Big. Look at this hood latch. Someone at Dodge decided they were gonna paint all these hood latches, and every time you open and close it, this is what you get. Also, this car comes with Bilstein struts and shocks that are fully adjustable. There they are. Here's your rears. The rotors are slotted. What we're gonna be doing in this car is an oil catch can, which has been ordered. So what you don't want is oil in the top of the intake, because then it will puddle and you'll blow smoke. When the oil starts sloshing around and it gets to the highest point, it gets trapped in here, and it's not good for the supercharger. There's bricks under here that cool the air, so you want no oil in this area. So what they did was, if it got any higher than this point, the oil, this is the snout into the intake, this right here, the oil would drain back into the thing, but you can see how gravity is going to push it back this way. So what the oil catch can will do, it sits a little bit higher, and it will catch the oil instead of throwing it back in different directions. So just gravity will bring the oil down into the can, and then you can empty the can of oil. And you can get rid of this whole thing here. This is a waste. The next thing is he's going to ceramic coat the whole entire car. They have to do a paint correction. Now, I don't know if you can hear this. It's really rough, and it's not even very clear. And the car's full of water spots. So what they'll do is, the people that are ceramic coating the car, they will do a paint correction. They will polish this car all the way down to the clear coat, and there will be nothing in its way. They'll wait 24 hours and then do a second coat. And then basically it's like a hard shell after that. And then they're gonna take the wheels off, they'll do the wheels, and then they'll do the calipers. These seats are comfortable, wow. Throttle response is so good on these. 1990, so 1989 I graduated high school and moved up here. Carl was the first one. Hold on, busy. My sister had asked Carl to chaperone me because I didn't know anybody in this town. Met him, and then a couple minutes later we're at Publix filling up a grocery cart full of produce, and then a few minutes after that we're blowing it up with guns, and now we're here 30 years later doing the same stuff. He's gone through some tough times and cracking up laughing with this car, and I think it's hysterical every time that supercharger whines. We giggle like little girls. What's the story behind that I bug you to buy one of the cars? And I'm a GT500 guy, so that would probably be my car. So what'd you look at? You looked at a 911 and a Camaro?
I was looking at buying a truck, and you said now's not the time for practicality. You need some fun injected into your life. And so you need to get a fun car. You can always buy a truck later.
Right. All right, at this point, the audio got messed up. We were driving around and we were getting the story on why he bought the car. I just told him to scrap this section and go ahead and send me a new clip explaining the story of him getting the car.
Spectacular view that I'm greeted with now when I go into the garage. I had to pinch myself half the time because I can't believe it's true. I never thought in my lifetime I'd get a chance to have an 800 horsepower beast. I'd always wanted a 1970 Chevelle 454, but I was never able to get one. And unfortunately, after losing my wife of 30 years, spending too much time depressed and moping around the house, my best friend Joe told me I needed to inject some fun into my life. And he suggested getting a fun car to give me something to work on, to give me something to take up my time, and give me something to get off my ass and get out of the house and go have some fun. So this Challenger was as close in concept to the Chevelle as I could find. A big, roomy car with a big trunk and a bigger engine, something that you could actually use and drive every day. You go to the grocery store, to go to the airport with luggage, even to go to Lowe's and put the pass-through seats down and put 8-foot long trim in it. A car you could actually use. Make yourself giggle like an 8-year-old when you step on the gas, and give yourself some fun. And the Hellcat RedEye is really the cure for what ailed me.
Launch control line lock. We need to do that. Shift light. Oh, something flashes yellow. It's for you to shift. Your paddle shifting. I just turn it on track. You can hear the fan come on. Race cool down. I guess when you stop, the fan will stay on high. Oh! That was good. What's the mileage this car gets? Like 9?
13 on the highway.
13. Oh, that's not bad. You hear all the rocks hit in the interwells. That's the what do they call? They call them the summer tires. They're just stickier than the normal compound.
Summer race compound.
Yeah. So as soon as you get on something, and it starts throwing rocks. But in its credit, it bangs the gears and it stays hooked up, so it's not so bad. I'm using the amp to brighten some things, and there's some imperfections in the paint on some areas that really need to be worked on, like this one. Look at this line going here. This looks like it will buff out. It looks like a defect from the factory. There's also, I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like he maybe overspilled some fuel. Somebody put too much in it. Remember, this is plastic, so it's very sensitive. So this will need to be addressed when they polish it. When they do the paint correction before they put on the ceramic coating, we'll take care of that. And plus this car sits out on the lot. Other than that, it looks pretty good. You can tell that the hood's not lined up right. You can see the gap here. And then you come over here and it's very thin. I don't know if it's from the twist of the car when it's under load and the car's making a ton of torque, because the thing just doesn't stop pulling. Just a paint correction and this thing will be like way shinier than what you see here. That in there. There's a big girl rolling.
Gauges for oil life, battery voltage, intake air temp.
Oh, nice.
Engine torque, power horsepower, air fuel light, whatever that, I don't know.
Hard on a rich one.
There's your boost pressure.
That's your boost gauge. Nice.
Coolant temp.
And then this over here has your quarter miles racing and 0 to 60 and all that.
This one, we got your top speed.
That's it. We've only done 123 today.
Yeah, that's
that's sweet.
Fuel economy is probably a bad thing they have on this car.
Yeah, you don't buy it for fuel economy. Launch control and the line lock. It is shiny. Washed it with the last soap and then dried it dry, and then I used the amp on the exterior, and you can spray this on everything, windows, plastic, wheels. I did the wing and everything, and it will protect from like water spots and all that. Those crevices and everything with this, and I did the nose, and the bugs won't stick to it of the bumper. And now it looks great, but I protected it with the last coat. I'm trying to hold out because he's getting the car ceramic coated at some point, but he has to take it to the dealer to get a couple things fixed that I just showed. But man, it came out good. So when the paint gets corrected and ceramic coated, you know, it'll be perfect.